To play numbers with friends, create the numbered tiles shown here or download the printable version I'll show you at the end of the video. Chuck them in a bag and then grab a 9x9 or 10x10 grid. To begin, players will each select 5 random tiles, and to finish every turn, players will end up with 5 tiles in their hand. So I'll play open-handed here so we can see what's going on. The aim is to create chains that are either factors or multiples of one another, and are either factors or multiples of their highest number in the chain. So for example, if it was Wright's turn to start with, you have to go in the center somewhere, they would be able to put a 4 and a 16 together. Or they could put a 5 and a 15 together if they wanted to. So that is their turn, and that would score Wright 20 points. So we'll put down 20 points for Wright. Left's turn has to connect to Wright's turn somehow, and we could put the 4 here to get 8 points, better off putting it there to get 20 points, or potentially you could put a 1 there, so 1 is a factor of any of these, and also then we can connect off of the 1. So if we did that, we might put a 1 and a 10. So we score 11 points for this connection, and then we score 21 for that one. So 11 plus 21 is 32. So left's on 32. By the way, sorry, Right should have taken 2 extra tiles for the 2 that they used before, and then left will do the same. So at the end of your turn, you'll always end up with 5 tiles until the end of the game. You can also, if you get dodgy numbers, return as many as you like. That can be your turn rather than taking a turn and placing things. So here's where it gets a bit interesting. I can put a 20 down here and a 5 down there, or down that way. If I'm really clever, I might be able to do something like this. I'll put a 20 down there to score all that, and then put a 4 there. So now I score 20 points for the 16 plus 4. I score 24 points for the 4 plus 20. So what's that? 44 I think we're on. And then another 31. So 75 points I think that scores. So 75 makes Right on 95. And so the way you connect your tokens will be very, very important in this game, just like it is in Scrabble. All right, now we've got the next crew to go. So this time we got 31, 41, 51, 56. 56 points. So it's 88 to 95 currently. This is a massive chain, so I can't put a 10 here because 10 is not a factor of 15. Even though it's a multiple of 5, that doesn't work. I can put another 15 and a 5 down. And again, if I was clever, I would be trying to get that 15 used twice. So something like this. So that scores 20. That scores 15, so 35, 40, 50, 60, 75. So there's another 75 points there for doing not a whole lot. So 170. And now 20 can't go here, but it can go there if we want, or on that side. So the game continues like Scrabble until you run out of tiles. Any tiles that are left over at the end, so for example, if left had these left over at the end, they would lose 10 points, and those 10 points would go to Right because that's how much they had left. So you don't want to be left with something like that because that's going to lose you 20 and gain them 20 at the end of the game. You can also play this with relatively prime numbers. So instead of the chains being made out of factors and multiples, they need to be made out of numbers that are relatively prime to one another. So we can make a chain that looks like this in this game because they do not share a factor other than 1. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 by 1, 5 by 1, 7 by 1. So that's a chain. But if I've added the 20, these share 2 as a common factor. So I can't add 20 to there. 1s in this game can be used for anything because that doesn't share any other common factors other than 1. So 1 can join on the end of the numbers like an S would in a game of Scrabble. So that's how you play Numbers with Friends. You can grab your own printable copy of Numbers with Friends at thinksquare.com.au/numberswithfriends. Enjoy the game.